Opening up WorldSurfLeague.com, the biggest highlight on the schedule was just seeing the return coming to Bali, a true surfer's paradise.
Yep.
You know, Bali is a beautiful island that's the #1 holiday destination in the whole Indonesian archipelago. But for surfing specifically, it's kind of a must-see experience. If you're a surfer, you've got to come to Bali at some stage.
Oh, absolutely. I think I made my first trip to Bali around 1982 and surfed the famous Uluwatu and Padang Padang. And you know, this wave is relatively new in the scope of things. But I remember surfing Sanur back in the day, which is on the same coastline here. But Keramas, I mean, it's a wave that I haven't surfed before, unfortunately. But I can't wait to see what happens today.
Basically a secret spot until those early 90s. We'll get back into that story, but already time ticking off the clock in the first heat of the contest. Italo Ferreira takes on Joel Parkinson and Keanu Singh. Beautiful right-hander on this shallow reef that's really close to the beach. One of the rare destinations where you can actually sit in the pool and watch one of these guys do a backflip on that inside corner pots.
Yeah, exactly. And you talk about backflips. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff so far this year. I think it's going to go to the next level. I mean, I think with you know, the way social media has been posting all these amazing aerial maneuvers, I think we've got the best surfers in the world here today, and I think we're going to see some crazy stuff go down.
Italo Ferreira is still in a top spot to be a world title threat with that dramatic, emotional win that he had at Bells Beach earlier this season, finishing in that final over Mick Fanning in his retirement event. Coach Ross Williams having a chat with John Florence. The two-time world champ still soaking wet after the early morning warm-up. Supposedly, Potts, we've been hearing there's been some battles in the free surfs the last couple of days. These heats start well before the jersey's on. John's preparing, having a look, getting the first wave of the event. Hawaii's own Keanu Singh wanted to get a big barrel to start. Ends up just getting a warm-up wave.
You know, I think it's that kind of wave, Joe. If you miss that tube right on the takeoff, it's best to get out.
Italo now. Similar situation to Keanu. Just hopping out of there. And now the defending champ from 2013, Joel Parkinson, has priority. You know,
it's as I said, you got to get that tube right to kick this wave off and then combo it up with some big turns or go to the air. So there's a wave that offers that. And you know, touching on the fact that it's going to be the all-rounded surfer that's going to come out on top here. I think you're going to need a bag of tricks. You're going to need every single thing, every single maneuver. I mean, the rail game's got to be very important. Obviously, positioning in the barrel as deep as you possibly can is going to be very important. You saw John's wave this morning. That's kind of the waves you're looking for. I mean, there's a lot of good waves out there, but there are those ones that are just that little bit better.
Keanu Singh representing Eva Beach and what is really his comeback to the top 34. After a brief hiatus, took a season off, came back and wants to fight hard to keep his spot for next season. Looking for a breakthrough result this year. Keanu is one of those younger athletes on the top 34 that really was able to benefit from World Junior Championships coming to Bali, really before the championship tour got here. So there's some young Groms that were pretty spoiled back in the day, Potts, and getting to surf perfect waves for their junior titles.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's, you know, it is the mecca of surfing, really, on this side of the world. I mean, some of the best waves, and then you've got the Mentawis around the corner as well. I mean, it's just endless supply of waves, but this place itself, Keramas, as you said, relatively a new wave in the scheme of things, but what a wave it is. It's high performance. It's quite heavy as well. I mean, you know, it's very deceptive when you look at it. You think how perfect the wave is and how cool it can actually get pounded. It's a wave you've got to really pay attention to. And
a wave that just deserves to be on the tour. It seems to be the most popular destination for video parts, and being in relatively close proximity to Australia in the past year, and that was just to get video clips, to get major photos. It really feels like the dream tour coming to life when you're putting a jersey on and looking for the best barrel and maybe the best turn or air of your life on the inside section.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to see all of that go down today. You just got to go back a little bit and remember John Florence's alley-oop that got heard around the world. And then Julian Wilson's that was, to me, one of the best still. But we're going to see more of that today, let's hope.
So looking at the draw, really exciting names in there. Kelly once again withdrawing with foot injury. As we look at a wave here, opening up wide. Parko deep in the barrel to kick off this heat first thing in the morning.
Wow.
Ends up getting smashed on that big section. But the best look at the barrel so far, first thing in the morning. Keanu's on the next one, stepping off quickly, Potts.
Well, that almost looked like backdoor in a sense, didn't it? That Joel Parkinson wave. I mean, unfortunately, just clamping down. It's a little bit of morning sickness at the moment. Let's hope that wind kind of blows a little bit offshore, opens that up. But beautiful conditions. I mean, we couldn't have asked for anything better to kick this thing off. Let's have a look at Joel Parkinson's wave. Just that free fall drop and then pulled straight into it. Very reminiscent to backdoor pipeline, but you can see there just squishing up, folding down on itself. You want to find those big, wide open exits.
Parko, one of the best of backdoor, former pipe master, clinched that pipe title in his world title season. And then the following year was the year that he won here in Bali, his last major win of his career in a final over Michel Perez. That was Michel's first ever major final. Also, Nat Young made a semifinal, former Rookie of the Year, as we watch Keanu Singh. Quick look at the barrel there. Front side wrap in the pocket, and he's out of there. So still some quiet scores getting on board as the whole field warming up this morning in heat number 1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's going to be a lot of those little inside waves that I guess, you know, if you're struggling in the rotation of priority, guys that have got priority are going to let those little ones go. I mean, look at this thing. We're saying little, but it's still in that 4 foot, 5 foot range. The bigger one's into that 6+, so not a big score for Keanu Singh, but I like the fact he's in 3rd in rotation. Get those little inside waves, get that momentum going, get that, you know, build those 2 waves totals, and then wait for the sets.
Potts, can we rely on the same kind of feeling to make the podium here at Keramas as we did in 2013? When we think about Parko, Michel, Nat Young as well on his back end, we keep talking about this wave being the most high performance, looking for a huge air or a flip. When those guys relied on power-based surfing to make those final stages of the event, will that stay the same this year, or are you going to need something above the lip now in 2018 to make this one?
Well, I think Parko can still win it if that's what you're asking. I mean, you know, it basically is an incredible barrel. Parko, one of the best in the barrel, but, you know, he's got to combo it up with some big, beautiful turns. Obviously, the air game is going to be the point of difference, but I still think guys like Joel Parkinson can win this event.
22 minutes on the clock. If you're just joining us, it's going to be a big day for men's competition. And the best women in the world on hold at the moment. Steffi Gilmore still wearing the Jeep Leaders jersey after an impressive performance at the Oi Rio Pro. And we still can't stop watching the highlight reel from Felipe Toledo, locking in at 10. Coming up later on today. Backhand approach for Italo Ferreira, getting the best wave so far. Beautiful completion. Didn't take long to warm up for Ferreira. And now running through the inside, backhand float. And a nice way to get everybody alert on the beach first thing in the morning, Potts.
Yeah, what a beautiful wave that was. You know, that's one of the ones you're waiting for when you've got that priority situation going. It's Italo Ferreira taking off nice and deep, sliding into it. Let's have a look here as he grabs the rail and just really uses part of his body to slow himself down and get as deep as possible. Great positioning there from Italo Ferreira, who's been on an absolute tear this year. That backhand has really served him well. Finishing this one off all the way through the inside. So Italo Ferreira off to the first real wave of consequence and sliding straight in. So, you know, you talk about, do the natural footers have an advantage? Are the goofy footers going to struggle out here? Well, there's your answer right there. Absolutely not. I think if you find the right wave, it doesn't matter which way you stand, these guys are going to get deep, they're going to come out, they're going to do some big turns, and Italo Ferreira is right up in the top of the leaderboard for a reason this year, Joe.
There's been a big topic, Potts, coming to Keramas and what this wave would do to the surfers on their backhand, like Italo, the goofy foot scenario here at another really quick right that's demanding on the inside corner. We got to see Ferreira's approach. Do you think all goofies are going to have a clean read like Italo today?
I think they are. I think they're all good enough to do that. I mean, I heard Gabriel Medina's been a standout through the through the practice sessions over the last few days. So, you know, in saying that, I mean, these guys have got to, you've got to have everything well-rounded, and that's well-rounded meaning your backhand's got to be sharp, your backhand tube riding's got to be on point, and then the maneuver-based stuff as well. Big hooks under the lip, maybe a backside rotation, and there's the rule book right there.
Always looking for a commitment and degree of difficulty, innovation and progression, combination of major moves, variety and speed, power and flow, and all translating that into numbers, 10 being the best score that you can get. In 2018, it's been a little bit tougher to get a 10, but we love that. Excellent scores are being saved for the big moments, but it feels like a wave like Keramas might demand that from the panel today.
you know what, that judging criteria, obviously that all equates into scores and points, and you're going to be looking for good to excellent rides today. I think it's going to take nothing less than that to move through these rounds. Obviously the winner skips around, second and third go into that deadly round number 2, but it's one of those events, Joe, where, here we go again from Joel.
Right into the pit with Parko, the defending champ for 5 years of this event, showing off that attack in the pit. Big roundhouse cutback, goes incomplete on the rebound. Singh in position. Double overhead on the takeoff, packs it deep, a clean line to punch free. And kicks out right in front of Parko to try to steal second priority. Understanding the game so well. What a great exchange, especially for Keanu Singh. Showing that he spent a lot of time on this wave over the years, Potts.
Yeah, he has. You know, I don't think... Well, you look at the guys that have competed here in the past. Obviously, a lot of the juniors have probably done it way more than the pros, but it's a kind of wave where, I mean, it's that perfect, isn't it? It's not going to take a long time to get used to this wave. If you're good in the barrel, you can identify that, and then these big wrapping turns. Joel's got to finish those maneuvers off. He was on his way to a really good score and then backed it up with a big wrapping cutback. Keanu Singh drags it, slows himself down, draws that high line to come out, which he does, and does that and kicks out right in front. So obviously priority being a very important factor here today. Being in that right place at the right time. Keanu Singh drawing into that beautiful barrel. Kind of a messy exit, but manufacturing that exit and coming out in front of Joel. So good move right there from Singh. And his first real score on the board as well.
Checking out the numbers, Parko and Singh chasing Italo's start. Italo got the 6.0 for that effort on his back end. So now comparisons for the panel to Keanu's barrel and also to Joel Parkinson, missing the finishing move. Oftentimes we talk about waves like pipeline pots where we're focused on the barrel, we're really excited about it, and we always wonder how turns are going to come into play. And the judge is letting us know that every part of the criteria is going to be used on this wave. And we'll see how important finishing your rides are, especially with Parko's incomplete roundhouse.
Absolutely. You know, you look at, say, a pipeline or a chopu kind of wave, you know, you're looking at more commitment and degree of difficulty as being probably the major factor involved. Here, everything comes into play. You know, the combination of major maneuvers, the variety of repertoire, the speed, power, and flow, also that commitment and degree of difficulty as well. So every aspect of the judging criteria are going to be used to its absolute extent right here. And that's what we love. We want to see these guys digging deep.
Really exciting day of action and a big day for pro surfing. Italo out in front. We're still standing by for scores from Keanu Singh and Joel Parkinson in the very first heat of the day. Parko happy to be still chasing major wins on tour. A lot of his close peers calling it a day. Mick Fanning send off of bells, and Parko, meanwhile, makes this one count. Clean barrel exit, wrapping cutback. Get back into the inside track and blitzes that one off the top with a classic frontside hack. So 2 scores to come for Parko, chasing Italo's lead.
Yeah, that's I like that too. You know, the smaller inside wave yet again. No one really looking at that wave. Joe identifying that it's going to be a nice little barrel, backdooring that section up and over the foam ball. So the degree of difficulty in that smaller wave was right up there. And then finishing strong. So this is what Joel's got to do. Finish that last maneuver, come riding out of that nice and strong, but a nice little insider there, which is going to back up that good barrel that he just had.
15:30 on the clock. Kieran Pro, our commissioner, competed in this event that Parko won way back in the day, and he was happy to bring the tour back here to Keramas. Kieran Pro, our commissioners, with Kaipo. Good morning, Kaipo.
Morning, Joe. KP, let's dig into exactly what we're going to do. We know we're on, but what's exactly on the schedule?
Yeah, what an incredible morning. Well, great welcome back for us to come back to Bali and be here in Keramas. Absolutely firing out there. We're going into men's round 1. If we can get through that and we've still got decent conditions, then we'll go into men's round 2. That's on standby at the moment. Fingers crossed, but you never know here. It's really difficult to predict the wind. Right now we've got absolutely perfect waves and good tides in the morning, so we're happy.
Love to hear your thoughts on the return of the championship tour to Keramas.
Yeah, it's so fantastic to be back here. You know, coming back in a really good spirit. We're coming back here to, you know, really help to try and protect this beautiful part of the world. And we want to make, you know, bring light to that as part of our effort to be here. And I think it's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to a really great week. We've got some overlapping swells coming up, so we're going to have good waves all week.
Great opening day for the Corona Bali protected guys. I'll let you take it away.
Thank you so much, Kaipo Guerrero, there with Kieran Perot, former pipe master, former competitor. Happy to bring the tour back here to this high-performance wave, maybe the most high performance on the calendar, Potts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, could you see how excited Kieran was this morning?
Yeah.
He was jumping out of his skin, and that's our commissioner. I love it. It's a wave that really does get those juices flowing, that's for sure.
And Kaipo touching on that idea of the Corona Bali protected. If you guys are on WorldSurfLeague.com, you saw that official announcement making the name change, which was all about sounding the alarm for the biggest threats to survival of the world's oceans. Back to that with Keanu checking a wave out. And he kicks out quickly. So the Corona Bali protected, standing for the vision of turning Bali into a pilot project, a blueprint for solving this global environmental issue of the marine plastic pollution. And so we're really happy Corona's involved with that and bringing it also to light to the best surfers in the world who have been great ambassadors of getting the message out around the world. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of cultures are quite, you know, unaware of the consequences of plastic, but, you know, and there is quite a big issue worldwide, but I love it. I love the fact we're here to protect this beautiful place. You know, it's a place that I've been coming to since I was, what, 16, 17 years old and seen a great change, and none of it positive, really. Now looking at 13 on the clock, Potts, in the first heat of the morning. Joel Parkinson has just taken the lead off Italo and Keanu. We'll be right back. Join us in flashing back to 2013 when the world's best on the top 34 traveled here to Keramas to compete at the championship tour level for the first time. It was Joel Parkinson, fresh off his world title win, so he was the defending world champ this year. We saw groundbreaking moves like John Florence doing the alley-oop, seen around the world. Still talked about maybe Potts as the biggest air done in competition. Oh, absolutely, Joe. And then this young man here making his first final, Michel Barrez, really found his feet. Julian Wilson, I mean, this wave really does suit Julian Wilson surfing down to a tee, but I can't wait to watch this young man get back out and try and get the ball rolling for his year. Julian got that yellow jersey. Can he hang on to it? I tell you what, there's a crazy crew right behind him that we're going to see come out today. But Joel, I mean, this wave suits him down to a tee. And look at that smile. I want to see that smile back on the dial. Joel Parkinson can win this event. He's got the game. He's got the barrel riding skills. And he's got the big turns to go with it. And one thing we'll never forget was Parko adding another big mark in history, having a perfect heat. Out here, it was a round 5 heat. And that doesn't exist anymore. Well, there's an extra round, but it was with John Florence at the time. Parko had 2 10s. John had a couple of big 9s with the loss. And during the break, Parko getting another barrel, Potts. Yeah, well, this is what you got to do. I mean, if you're third in line for that priority rotation, unleash on these little insiders. I mean, Joel's got himself into the lead due to that fact. A 4 on the one before and then a 5.37 to back it up. So Joel Parkinson finding those little nuggies on the inside, and sometimes they have that cleaner line on the reef. And why not? Why not catch them? Why not get that ball rolling? Why not put yourself into that first spot? I think something really playing into Joel's hands, Potts, is how comfortable he is here in Bali, how many strike missions he's had. But he's a seasoned veteran. He's 37 years of age. He's kind of flirted with the retirement talk over the last few years and now showing his dedication for this season. But I think one thing that has the shine on him for this event is that fresh feeling. Also that he won here in the past. But whenever Parko is inspired by the conditions, he becomes really hard to beat once again. Yeah, exactly. And it's a wave that does it. I mean, look at the road to his win. Not an easy one. Damien Hobgood, Taj Burrow, John Florence. I mean, it's... and then Josh Kerr in the semi-finals, eventually defeating Michel Barrez. So he went through the who's who of professional surfing back then. And, you know, it's the kind of wave that inspires Joel's surfing. You know, it really does suit him down to the tee. And
these older guys need that little bit of spike, that little bit of interest. And there it is, round 5, perfect heat.
And also you see how the numbers went, the perfect heat. That was against John. John had high 9s in that heat. So it was one of the highest scoring heats of all time. And that was what made this wave so incredible to watch, is seeing how valuable this wave was on tour. You see the numbers dropping towards different stages of the final series, and you're reminded how quickly Keramas can turn off. When the tide drops out, wind typically goes on shore in the afternoon. And that's why we had such a early wake-up call this morning. It was dark when we got down here, but Kieran, our commissioner, knew that the tides would be high, conditions favorable for wind, and this beautiful southwest swell greeting us first thing in the morning.
Yeah, exactly right. So we get as much done as possible before that wind does come on shore, which is kind of inevitable, isn't it? I mean, it's going to happen. So Kieran identifying that, getting an early start, which we don't mind. We want to get the best guys in the best ways, and that's exactly what we're doing right now.
Little motion out the back. Italo tries to hold his position with priority, but he doesn't sell it to the panel. He loses priority. Took a look there, Potts, and he ends up paying for it.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake right there from Italo. You can see him splash in the water in a little bit of frustration, but 8 minutes remaining. It's still plenty of time to go. Both guys, Keanu Singh needing a 5.21 and Italo just a 4.37, so not huge scores required. I think the judges are identifying that it's going to be one of those kind of days, so they're keeping the level real low, the scoring potential real low at the moment. If you look at Italo's barrel, it was an incredible wave, garnered a 6 points, which is still the highest score so far this morning.
Next heat coming up, Potts. Owen Wright preparing for his first heat at Keramas, and believe it or not, he's never been to this part of Indonesia before. He's been to Indo multiple times, to the east coast of Bali and Keramas. He was really impressive in the setup in the wave. He'll be taking on Ezekiel Lau, as you saw him preparing, and also Mikey February. Zeke, very impressive in Rio de Janeiro, Potts.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean about your rhythm. If you can come out of this heat with 2 waves, you're going to kill it, I reckon. You know what I mean? Think about it.
Zeke staying focused, coming up in 7 minutes. Previously, we saw Italo throw away first priority, taking a look at a wave and holding back. So Keanu Singh trying to control this lineup, needing a 5.21 to take the lead off Parco. With 6:40 to go, Italo now roaming under priority. He's going to make a move. Just a quick up and out for the current number 3 in the world, who got his first taste of the Jeep Leaders jersey, Potts, sharing it with Julian. We saw him lose hold of that at the last event in Rio. How's that going to affect the title race?
Well, I mean, he's in there, right? I think, you know, did he feel a bit uncomfortable wearing it? Maybe. For the first time, you can understand that. So, you know, he obviously got taken out by Iago Dora in Brazil, who just seems to fire in front of the home crowd. It's like one of his favorite events on tour. But I think Italo's right there. I think he's in a good spot now where the spotlight's not on him as much anymore. And I think he's going to be free to roam and maybe feel a little bit more comfortable. So fingers crossed he can keep the momentum going.
Still enjoying his best start to date. First major win of his career at Bells Beach. And we saw that emotion when he came up the Bell Stairs and how much that meant to him in his career. And now feeling that he is a title threat. But also, you gave him that credit when he was a rookie on tour. You expected this out of Italo, and it seems like now that he's had, well, an injury out of the way from last year, more confidence, more experience, also one of the juniors that traveled here in the past, he's got a pretty good shot to maybe wear yellow once again.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's without a doubt that's going to happen. I mean, it's just got to find that little bit more consistency through his, you know, his results, less peaks and valleys. Here we go. Oh.
5:20 to go, and holding position once again.
You know, you look at the guys that wear the yellow jersey and hold it for a period of time. You know, they're backing their good results up. They're getting wins in amongst it, and their losses are quarterfinals are better. So that's kind of what you have to do.
Hitting the 5-minute warning. Parco up and out. So you see now priority, second priority going to Italo, since they're pretty close to each other. So would you call that a mistake from Joel Parkinson?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you would, I suppose. Someone with that kind of experience, you know, knowing the wave as well as he does, you don't want to just throw that away, especially when you've got the lead only narrowly holding it down. I mean, a 4.37 required by Italo and a 5.21 by Keanu Singh. I mean, there's big scores out there.
So big scores out there and a big heat for opening day here at the Corona Bali Protected. Italo Ferreira got the best score to start, a 6.0 for that backhand two bright.
Oh my gosh, a sign of things to come today. The waves are absolutely cracking here this morning. And quite traditionally, the first heat a little slow. Joel Parkinson, though, finding some nice little cover-ups, flashing back, reminiscing, trying to go through the Rolodex and work out what he did to win this event, looking sharp. He's just got to finish those turns off to get those big points. Keanu Singh, beautiful size wave here as he pulls in nice and deep as well. Comes out. This is a very close hit at the moment. It could go either way. All guys getting some barrels, but Joel at the moment with two solid waves, a 5.37 and a 5.0 at the moment, holding down that first spot. A very important win here to move through into round number 3. Joel, just a little couple of mistakes there to finish his waves off. He's got to clean that up if he wants to guarantee a win through to the next round.
Surfliner official forecaster of the World Surf League kind of saying expect it to be slow here and there on this opening day, with the Southwest really starting to show itself and predicting a better angle on the swell the next few days. So it looks like we'll be flying out of the gates here in this event. 3:15 on the clock. Parco out front. Italo Ferreira trying to skip round 2 if he gets a win here. Backhand float into a carve. All maneuvers here for Italo down the line. Another chip off the lip. End section just keeps that flow going down the line. Looking for a 4.37 on that effort.
I think he's got it, Joe. I mean, that was good, clean surfing. Okay, no tube involved, so that's going to sort of play into it as far as something missed. But the rest of it was pretty clean. I mean, some solid surf in there from Italo. And there's that priority. I mean, Joel did have that second priority, Italo down in third, and because Joel took that mistake, Italo capitalized and a couple of solid maneuvers. So 4.37 is what's required, and finishing strong, which you got to do. He does that, you can tell. He was feeling good on that one. So is that priority situation going to come back and haunt Joel Parkinson? Only time will tell.
2:15 to go. Italo just chasing a 4.37. Remember, this opening round of competition, non-elimination. So second and third are reseeded into the second round, and our commissioner, Karen Perro, said he's looking at running round 2 later on today if the conditions hold up. Last thing you want to do is get sent home on the first day of competition, so it's a big jump if you can get a win here. In this opening round, Keanu wants it. Fades the takeoff, pulls into a messy section, and he can't hang on.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Keanu. That thing just kind of chandeliered on him. Took him out. I think if you're going down to the bottom and coming around the section to try and get in, I think you've already missed a part of the wave. Then you got to take off a little deeper and knife it into it, like just slide straight in. You can see how he goes down and then tries to sneak under it, and the thing just unloaded on top of him. Unfortunate there for Singh. Scores coming through for Italo, and guess what, Joe?
Numbers in for Italo Ferreira, and Parco looks like he's going to hang on to his lead, still chasing a 4.37. Ferreira's last a 4.10, 1 minute to go. Very close decision from the panel. And now Parco holding priority. He's got a great opportunity to shut this one down.
And maybe size of wave came into play on Italo Ferreira's wave, a smaller inside wave. Nothing too crazy as far as innovation and progression goes. So the judges, yeah, want to see more.
Agree with that call, Ponce?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Felt it. I can tell you felt that one.
Well, when you look at what Joel's done, I mean, it wasn't quite there, was it?
It's all about comparisons for the panel. They set their number at Italo's 6.0. Still the best wave of the heat so far. And right in the same conversation, Parco 5.37 and Keanu 5.17. 22 seconds to go. Parco did have to deal with the second round in that win in 2013 and trying to just do one step better, and skipped round 2. Set himself up in the third round of competition. 10 seconds to go. Going for the big whip on that inside corner. Italo Ferreira trying to save himself, and Joel Parkinson will ride this one out on the horn. Clean victory lap from the former world champ. And it was kind of nice seeing his name in the first heat of the draw, being the defending champ for so long.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I got a funny feeling it's similar kind of boardies he's wearing too. If you look at the colorway on the boardies he wore during that win, looks pretty similar to me. So maybe those are his lucky boardies.
Not bad. Joel Parkinson back to business. Here, Keramas takes the first win of the event into round 3. Up next, Owen Wright takes on Zeke Lau and Mikey February right after this.